Here we are for another CKK Transport training. Today we are going over driver cards. Here are your 4 driver fuel cards that you will be handed. So you're going to have, your CKK Spark, your Pilot, Loves, and Multi-Service. So your main fuel cards are probably going to be your Loves and Pilot. And then if you're like in a smaller town, then you would probably use your multi-service fuel card. You'll have to check and see if they take it. And then kind of worst comes to worst to use your Spark card, but don't make it your first option. Here is your Spark card. So this is going to be one that, you only use it if necessary. And if you do use this, make sure you have a copy of the receipt and with the amount of gallons and how much you paid. There's a spot on your driver envelope to write all of that down and then just stick that receipt in your driver envelope as well. Here's going to be your pilot card. So you're either going to use the last 4 or 6 of your social security number when it comes for the driver ID. Now this is a card where you can get cash advance out, but if you do, make sure you write it down on your driver envelope and what if it was for. Say if you are just taking it for personal, you need to write that down. But if you're also taking it out for, say, a taxi, then write that down so we make sure we don't take it out of your pay. Here's your Loves card. So this one's going to have both a unit ID and a PIN number, and then they're both going to be the same number. They're both going to be the last 6 of your social security number. This one also has an option for cash advance, but there is a 3% fee attached to it. But if you do get 50 gallons of fuel, then the fee will be waived. So most likely try to use your pilot card if you're going to be taking out a cash advance. But if you are at a Love's and this is your option, then go ahead and just do it. If you have any service work done at Love's, say if you have a blown tire and we are at Love's and they're fixing it, use your Love's card to pay for it. Don't use your CKK Visa card. Use the Love's to pay for any work done at Love's. This is going to be your multi-service card. So you're going to also need to enter a unit number. This is literally going to be any number. So any 1 to 2 or 3-digit number, you can just pick anything. And then for the next one, you're going to need to enter the last 4 of your social security number. So there's going to be 2 things you need to enter there. And then this one also does offer, the 3%, fee for cash advances. Like I said, this isn't as widely used of a card. You're most likely going to be using your Loves or your Pilot card. So here's our fuel protocol. So for all of our customers, make sure to leave them with a minimum of a 1/4 tank to a 1/2 tank of fuel. We don't want to be leaving them on empty and we don't want to be delivering them on full unless we have requested you to do so. Now, an exception here is going to be for port drops or shows. We always want to leave it at a 1/4 tank or less. It can't be empty and it cannot be over a 1/4 tank. And then fill up with DEF every single time you stop for fuel. Even if the tank says it's full, fill up the DEF every time anyways. And then just make sure before you put any kind of fuel in the truck, make sure you know where it's going and make sure that it's the right kind of fuel.